So I got 3 months left, and then I'm cashing in the chips, so to speak. I got a job that I can do for the rest of my life. It's not, it wasn't my goal. It's not what I want to do, but if I don't meet my goal with the screenplay, it's kind of, I mean, it's like, it pays really good, so I don't really have a choice. And how I've lived my life has been kind of backwards. So the first half of my life, all I did was like dream and try to find things that were exciting and made me feel alive and in the moment, because I believed in that kind of stuff, while all my peers were settling down, getting their careers focused, honed in, and I had gotten intuition to get into mixed martial arts, and I did okay at an amateur level, but I peaked out as far as my athleticism. My work ethic was not the issue at all. So I ended up having to, at the age of 31, I sat down with my coach, and we made a decision that I was only going to go so far, and that I needed to start thinking about my health. So I aimed in a different direction. I said that just doesn't settle, because my goal was to be involved in mixed martial arts for the rest of my life, learn the strength and conditioning programs that came with it, learn how to fight so I could coach guys and, get certain levels of belts in certain disciplines so I could teach guys and be a mixed martial arts coach at a gym. That was my goal from all the years of, losing jobs and heartache. And so, and again, this is the backstory for those of you that have been subscribed and didn't know, like, that's the full backstory. I said, no way, I'm going to try to do stuff with music. That didn't work out. I started a concert promotion called Remember the Theme. I'll post in the link of this episode one of the television shows that we had from that concert series. We were on public access, and we had a television show with it. So
in about 2 miles, turn right onto DeSoto Avenue.
I got into college. Well, double back. So after that didn't work out, I had done that promotion for about a year and a half. The guy and I and the other guy, we all parted ways. Differences of opinion and different creative goals. We split ways, and I went to college for art, and I was going to continue to pursue my goal creatively. I was still making electronic music on the side. I was, focused on music all the time. I was working part-time and going to college part-time, and then I was living in a barn in the middle of winter with no heat due to some circumstances outside of my control. I ran into somebody that was not honest about telling me they'd let me stay at their place. They wanted to know where I was getting all my money from, and I was like, yeah, that's none of your business. All you need to know is I'm giving you rent. I wasn't doing anything shady, but it wasn't his business. It's my money. You don't ask me that. So he didn't let me stay, and I ended up staying in this barn for a whole winter while going to college with no heat. I was introduced to a poetry class on accident, and then I took a playwriting class because the poetry teacher said we should take it. I just figured it's a class I want to take for, a filler or whatever. I can't even think of it right now because I'm kind of dehydrated from the sauna or steam room. So I take that playwriting class, and I was taking a film class at the same time, and I was failing math. English I did okay in, depending on the teacher, and then everything creative I aced. Like it was nothing. And I'm not saying that arrogantly. I worked my ass off, but it was the only thing ever in my entire life that I got A's in, was in art and creative facets and creative forms of expression they had in the art classes. So he tells us to write a 10-minute play, and I write a 10-minute play, and I bring it to the class. Now, when he told us to write a 10-minute play, I started writing, and it worked in my head like a screenplay does, how you write them. And I don't know why it worked like that. It just, that was how it made sense. And I think, did I just miss my turn talking? Or no, it's definitely the next light. I think I have to turn right. So I turn in the screenplay, or I turn in the play, and he starts reading it, and he's like, dude, this is not a 10-minute play. This is a screenplay. What part of it did you not understand? Now, what we were doing is we were reading the plays out loud, and everybody in the room had a part that they had to act. So you had to give everybody the play, and they started reading it, and the whole class was like, "No, we're finishing this." And the guy was going to fail me in that 10-minute play, except the whole class said, we need to finish reading this, and like they read it and loved it so much that he gave me an A. So right then it clicked in my head. I'm like, okay, so like I might have a talent for this. I might have a talent to write a screenplay.
Then at the next one, turn right.
Okay, gotta go past this light, the next one, turn right. So I went and started writing, and I wrote The Last Vigilante, and it took me like, I don't know, about 2.5 years to write. And then
turn right onto DeSoto Avenue.
After certain problems, I'm in Florida, and they diagnosed me with some pretty serious health stuff, and I have to go back to Ohio. And now in my head, I can't remember if I turn right here. I think I do. Now in my head, because of what they told me, I'm dead, and it was crazy. And they opened me up, and I've gone over this a billion times on the live feeds, and they find out it's not what they diagnosed me with, so I was good for that moment. And I got back to the screenplay, but before I did that, I walked away from it. I said,
in 2.7 miles,
is this guy?
Right,
Oh, okay.
State 118 West.
I said, I'm done with this. I'm just going to go get a job. I was living in a bus at the time. I said, I'm just going to go get a job and work, and that's it. And I worked 3 jobs, and it was hell. It was absolute hell. And I went and got a new van and moved into it, and was going to do some things for my family, but it didn't work out that way, and I wound up in Florida and traveled all over the place, and told myself 1 year. I'm going to give myself 1 year. And dude, if you go and look at the episodes prior to this one right here, I mean, the shit I was going through and the stress that I was going through was absolutely insane. I could not go, even if I were to sell a screenplay tomorrow, if they're like, would you go through that again if you knew it was going to happen? I'd say, I couldn't risk it, dude. Like, there was times I'm not even going to get into the details, man, but it was not, no fucking way would I ever go through it again. No fucking way, man. Anyhow, so here we are. This is the last 3 months of this. If I don't get an agent in the next 3 months, or sell the screenplay by some miracle, then I'm done. I am walking away clean, I'll probably go to Arizona. I'll shut down the channel. I might leave the channel up, but I'll never upload on it again. So I'm going to start doing regular uploads again. I know I've said this a couple times, but Dude, it's been a nightmare. I've been working full-time, working 2 jobs, actually. At one of the jobs, it's full-time. And then writing, sending out emails, developing, learning how to get behind the scenes. Now I'm an extra in certain things because I'm trying to figure out how I can, like, get my foot in the door and get this thing to the right fucking human being to give me a shot, to see if I got it. I believe I do, but I could be wrong, man. And again, you know, I don't know. That's what life's all about. You don't know what's going to happen. When you're young, you're like so confident, you believe. But when you get older and you go for something like this, man, it's totally different, dude. It's totally different. Everybody thinks you're insane. You're having a midlife crisis, which I knew I was partly, but I timed it. I said, I made like a timeline, and I'm like, by the time I get to my midlife crisis, it'll give me that boost of energy that I need to really ramp and put in that energy. And I can tell I'm at it right now. And then I'm just like, I got 3 months left and I'm done. So, yeah. And so from here, I was on the show Surrounded. And I don't know if they're going to upload it. They said they might not upload it. I'll show you the email. It's right here. And that way, you know that I'm not lying. Here's some pictures. So I was on the Surrounded show. I don't know if I'll be on there, like, to where they see it, but I didn't get a chance to talk. No big deal. So that is today's episode, and we're going to keep them regularly uploading. And yeah.